Alrighty then. Yellow, you guys. Pycno says hello as well. What are we gonna play today? Today. Today, good old Allo, huh? Let's give it another go. Oh my god. That noise just scared me. I swear these new, what are they called? Ambient noises they added are so weird sometimes to the point where they kind of spook you or catch you off guard. Like the falling tree just sounds like bullets. And there's a little non-interactable critter. I swear, like the rat critters, I think they've been removed. They were like just a little bit bigger. Yeah, just like this. And you'd be able to get them in only one bite. And they would give you nothing for food. They were just there as a placeholder. So anyways, I think today we're probably gonna stick with bite still, but what we're gonna try to do is try and use our claw attack more frequently, because last video we almost never used it. And usually I don't really use it against smaller opponents, simply because I see the bite attack as having more value when it comes to damage dealing. But since somebody told me you should do it because the bleed puts extra pressure on them, and it's kind of going to make them make mistakes, and not gonna let them heal, and all of the jazz, I'm gonna be trying to doing more claw attacks this episode. I don't know, I have a good feeling about this. So let's see what Pathoftitans has in store for us today. I believe the server is gonna steadily fill up and it won't take it too long, I hope. Now, I think the Hatchet Bite should have its stamina cost completely removed, to be honest with you. Because, well, what's going on, Lebroski? Oh, he's small. Are you really gonna do that? Oh my god, why was that louder than the adults? Now, back there I was gonna let him live, because, yeah, just realized that he's small, but then he kinda, instead of running away, decided to go for me. So, it's not like I didn't give it chances to run away. But hopefully next time he's gonna keep that in mind. Now, possibly the claw attack I did on him could have made his brain there go fuzzy and not make the right decision. What can you do? Now, the flower quest is way too easy for me to pass on it. We're gonna be doing that. I wish there was a place in Gondwa that would award you a ton of marks. Similar to in Ventura, there's Talon's Point, and there's the little rock cave or whatever it's, sorry, the pond. Little something right next to it. I swear I heard footsteps or movements that way. And those locations give you a lot of marks in a very short span of time, and you can just do a rotation like every 20 minutes. But sadly, I know nothing of such place here in Gondwa. So I don't know if you guys know about the best locations out to farm marks in Gondwa, please let me know. That would be really helpful for future episodes. Well, you know what? You know what? I'm feeling extra risky today. Extra spicy. So why don't we roll with Hatchet Bite? Let's do that. Let's challenge ourselves. And since you guys seem to really enjoy Hatchet Bite a lot, let's try to make this video about it. About Bleed Allo. And as hard as it is to play Bleed Allo, I kind of want to try to somewhat make it work. Honestly, I heard about Allo that it is planned. I don't know how true this is, but they're saying that it's planned to become smaller and more agile around the DASP combat weight, which is 3500. And honestly, I'm down for that. I really would enjoy that because, see, the Allo and the Isle, and I'm speaking about Legacy because that's the majority of hours I have in. The Allo in the Isle has 2800 combat weight, and for reference, the Carno, which is basically Pycno equivalent. I know that it's smaller, yada yada yada, but it's almost the same thing. Has around 2200 combat weight. And then like the Raptors have 1000, and so on and so forth. So just for reference, the combat weight difference between an Allo and a Carno in the Isle is that. And 2800 isn't even all that much. You have the Rex, which has over 5k or 6k, I'm not too sure. I don't remember off the top of my head. So if they shrink Allo here from 4k to 3.5k, I could see it totally being fine. If they give it better mobility, better stamina, if they give it a proper skill set, I would be honestly down for that. If it behaves more like the Allo I know in the Isle, which has a great stamina and has the turn isn't the best, but it's quite decent if you know how to do it. And is one of the best bleeders in the game. It only gets outshined by the Giga and the Acro in terms of bleed. So yeah, I'm really hoping for something along those lines. Now, let's keep a watchful eyes and ears. Because ideally we don't want to walk into a group. We don't want to get into range of them. That is a bit too close. For example, this tree line over here is too close. If it's like a couple of Pycnos or whatever, then it's donezo for us because we can't run away. So on dinos that is hard to run away with, it's hard to turn and fight multiple opponents. Your situational awareness takes top priority, especially when you're approaching places that you know have a lot of players in them, such as GP. GP always has people. Also, if you want to be stealthy and as inconspicuous as possible, you have to stick to the tree line. Never go in the open because that's when you're the most visible to everybody else. Now, of course, as stealthy as you may be, you will always make a lot of noise with your footsteps. And you can alleviate this by crouching. But let's be honest, who wants to sit for ages and crouch? And those are two Albertas. See, now we're a safe distance away from these Albertas, right? But if we were closer, like if they decide to charge us right now, we can get away in time. Now, is one smaller or am I tripping? Okay, that one is gaining stamina. That tells me that he wants to top up before they engage on me because the melanistic one is already moving my direction. This means they're interested. So the smart thing for me to do here is to start preemptively gaining distance. We don't want them to be closer than us. To be closer to us than we need. See, they are very interested in me right now, but I'm not interested in fighting two Albertas. It's a hard fight, it's definitely doable. But if they play their cards right, they're absolutely going to demolish me. So I need to be really wary of them. Yes, they have less combat weight, but they have more HP than me, which is gonna even things out. In the end, they're gonna have the same HP as me, effective HP. Oh, I am hearing their footsies. Okay. So one way for me to deal with them is to catch one off guard and away from the other. And bleed him up, basically. So one of them is forced to move away and heal. And then I can 1v1 the other. This is basically the only way I can win, is to separate them. And if I can't do that, then they're gonna get me. Also, I'm not fully grown. So I have to keep in mind this disadvantage. Now I'm strictly going to crouch from this moment on. I don't want them to know I'm coming their way. I just heard an Achillo, I believe. Yep. And they're looking at it. Possibly trying to start beef. Did I just hear a Becky charge? And there's a Meg as well. Now, if only I can get the Carnies to also engage on the Albertas. That would be ideal. I don't want this Becky right now. I don't want him to touch our HP pool. Dino. Ooh, here we go. There's a nano apparently. Oh, they're already fighting. Now you have those 2 extra bleeds on you, and you enjoy them. Oh no. Is the Hats also against me? Thought of William? Of course I would team up like this. Eat that. This Hats is super annoying. Ooh. Ooh. Another Hats. Hope it doesn't dive in on us. Okay, guys, so basically that logic, the theory, worked like a freaking charm. What do I mean by that? I applied, so the first Alberta, the melanistic one, got hit 4 times by me. And I believe the other one got hit like 3 times. And just so you know, that is an insane amount of bleed. The claw attack does 1 point of bleed, whilst the Hatchet Bite does like 1.25, which is a lot. Think of it as these 2 hitting you is equivalent to 5 conga kicks, almost 6. So pretty much what happened there is the melanistic one got a lot of bleed on it, became really low, and was forced to retreat. Otherwise, had it kept running after us, it would have been in a really rough spot. And also the Hatchet Bite does like, I think 60 damage, which is 10 more than the normal bite of Allo, which already hurts a lot. So the first Alberta was forced to retreat, so did the second one. The second one didn't receive as many bites, I think 3 of them. I think it was 1 claw and 2 hatchet bites. That was again enough to probably get half of its health in bleed damage. Then the hats did a lot of damage to me by chasing me because we have both the same land speed. And I couldn't tail attack the hats in time. And then the Packy, I managed to break check it and hatchet bite it, which probably lowered its HP to half and gave it a lot of bleed again. So, in this case, I never thought I'd say it, but Hatchet Bite actually saved my life. Had I not had Hatchet Bite, had I went Bite instead, 2 things would have happened. 1, I wouldn't have put enough pressure on them, and they would have kept on me, which I wouldn't have been able to get away from 2 Albertas, a Packy, and a Hats. So not as much pressure, and 2, it would have forced me into a more of a face tanker playstyle, which again, the fight would have ended for me right there and then by the beach. They wouldn't even have needed to chase me down because I would have already been gone by that point. As in, I would have been in another part of the map having respawned. So definitely, this is really interesting. This is really interesting. So any target I want to fight, I can hatchet bite, claw hatchet bite, which should theoretically put them at maximum bleed that the game currently allows. And then all I have to do is run away and make use of my tail attack. This is honestly kind of nuts. We might be onto something here, boys. Okay, I just heard footsteps. Now this healing is horrendous. I have no idea. I made this Allo ages ago. I have no idea what kind of subspecies I have. I wish this was Bulwark, that Serato has 50% increased heal. My god, that would have been amazing. Scavenger. Fish. Why would you ever give this to Allo? I don't understand these developers sometimes. But yeah, causes low damage, yeah, And this causes medium damage, but this does more damage than this. Alright. That makes a lot of sense. The descriptions are fire. So, honestly, I'm not gonna wait any longer. Neither am I going to make you guys wait any longer. If the slow is that slow, wow, nice English. If the heal is that slow, I would rather just heal on the way. And this is noxious meat. It's not for us. Now we're gonna be playing with our HUD off because we have full stamp, and we don't want to get our screen obscured by the hurt effect, the wounded effect that you get around your screen when you're low health. So we have maximum awareness. So the verdict is when you play Allosaurus or when you play any dino that kind of sucks at the moment and isn't as good off as the others. Bro, are you serious? Isn't as well off as the other dinosaurs? You have to play. You kind of have to overperform in order to make up for its shortcomings. You have to be way more strategic in your playstyle. You have to be a lot more aware of your surroundings if you're playing Allo, for example. For example, if I was playing Alio, I would have to play solely around my ambusher passive in order to get anything done. Which would mean I would have to play with a combat timer, and I would also always have to get the first hit in. So it does the strategy does change from dino to dino depending on their play, on their kit, their abilities. But one thing that doesn't change is the fact that you have to outperform the others who are playing maybe worse than you, but they're better off because they have a better dinosaur. And you have to be extra aware. So this is the Pachy and the hats from before, and now there's two Pachy's, which could be very dangerous for me, especially at this health. So I have to try to get the jump, at least on the hats. Gotta get the jump on the hats and make him pay. Or third-partying me. Hearing footsteps this way. Oh, the Packies might have seen me here. Oh, he's collecting stuff. Okay. There's a Lambio. Lamborghini. I hit it still, and I blew my ambush because I didn't inflict any bleed on it. And that already did a lot of damage. There's the Albertas. Now I have to appear confident. Okay, good. I can't have them know that I'm this health. Okay, so I have to go get water in case I want to have any hopes of healing at all. I have to make it to a water source. And right now the safest water source for me is the Wilderness Peak one. So we're gonna be booking it that way because the Albertas also have a lamb right now at their side. What is that? Is that a Pycno? It is. This an Alio? These woods are haunted, you guys. Alright, let's not stray from our goal. And go for Wilderness Peak. You guys have no idea how careful I'm being. I'm being followed, aren't I? There's multiple Allios. I think this one is a tad smaller. Is he gonna drop down? Well, he's gonna break his leg if he does. Okay, that is interesting. I'd totally be down for fighting two Allios. Okay, wow. I just discovered something nuts. The slow walk turn is kinda insane. Wow. This might be the first dinosaur with a decent slow walk turn. In Isle, it used to be called Z-turn, and you would basically have to use it on every dinosaur, otherwise you would just not be playing the game right. But that is not the case in this game. But it might be for Allo. Let's see. So this is the normal walk, which is quite fast. Yeah, both are very similar, but I don't know. I'll have to test them out in the field, I guess. So this guy's looks like he's leading me somewhere. And if a random player, especially one that you attacked, is leading you somewhere, it cannot mean anything good. But I was headed this way originally, so I don't care. If he's got friends lying in wait for me, they can bring it on. I would be more than happy to indulge them. So he's intentionally letting me know where I am, so I follow. It's gonna completely ignore him. So maybe he decides to attack. But that is heavy footsteps. Hello, mister. Yeah, you had this in mind. See, I told you guys. There was nothing good coming from that. Yeah, I was 100% sure that would have hit. So first we have to get rid of this Alio, otherwise we won't be able to do much. Then the Rex should be not a huge problem for us. Watch, I'm gonna feint him. Oof, barely missed. There we go, that's a good hit. Yeah, that's a substantial amount of bleed on the Alio. Oh, he's going for the Spino now. I did manage to save the spoon. Oh, there's a lot of bleed on him. No, you don't friendly me now that you have 7 minutes plus of bleed. No, you don't. That was easy. Ooh, it's a good time to on tail again. Perfect. Managed to slide that in. Now he's full on the defensive right now because he has a lot of bleed on him. And back to the corner. Yep. He's got a lot of bleed on him. Way too much than he can handle. Now, one beautiful thing about Hatchet Bite is the fact that you can kind of strafe and hit somebody while you're sort of grazing them to the side. Your Allosaurus took a lot of damage from me. He's not gonna be helping you anytime soon. I'm just waiting for my stamina to be back up. Oh, Rexy boy. You were way over aggressive earlier, but now you're suddenly a little friendly pup. A good doggy. Oh, hi doggy, you're my favorite customer. No. There's his little doggy buddy, he's coming back. We're gonna send him running the way he came from. Okay, so his bleed isn't done. Yep, there goes your HP. Arrivederci. Nope. That was a mistake on my part. The Yalio is already low HP. Come on, do your tail. Great thing about tail is that he cannot bite and do the tail at the same time. Pretty sure this guy is getting low at this point. I think he looks scarred up. Mr. Rexy boy, you and your little doggy. You thought you were the perfect duo, didn't you? And now the Alio is way too low HP to engage me again, that is why he's keeping his merry distance over there. Remember guys, the abilities that you use govern the playstyle. Had I had Bite, I would have been way more aggressive. But since I'm using Hatchet Bite and these are the only tools I have at my disposal, I basically have to run a pure hit and run playstyle, where I keep my range and I only go in for bites when it is safe and profitable for me to do so. And now the Alio is healing over there. We're gonna try to get a good glance at this Rex to see the severity of his injuries. And while I might be wrong, I do think he is scarring up. Yeah, he most definitely is. Yeah, he is low HP. But I think he just stopped the bleeding. So he's lower HP than I am even. I'm gonna try something risky here. And it worked. Oh, I just got spooked by someone there. Yeah, Rexy Boy is pretty much a goner almost. We just hope we don't get third-partied. Yep, bye-bye Rexy. Mr. Alio there just watching his front get turned into sashimi. Sucks, doesn't it? To lead somebody into an ambush, only to get John Wicked. Mr. Alio, why don't you just man up and finish what you started? No, sir. No, sir. No, no, no. So, keeping your cool is paramount when you're fighting multiple opponents. And when you have this kind of matchup, in this case, one Apex and one small doggy, then you gotta deal with doggy first. Because if you don't deal with doggy first, what's gonna happen is doggy is gonna tail ride you when you try to go for the Apex. Which is gonna do two things. You will lose health, and you will make mistakes because you're being bitten and your dino is screaming. So yeah, always deal with doggy first, and after you're done with doggy and they need to heal, I have to move away, and they learn to fear you. Only then you deal with their Apex buddy. And now I can finally drink and get my HP back up. Now that Rex was, I would say, halfway to adult, so half sub, which is, FYI, more than enough to face tank two Allos, one after the other, and still come out the victor. Wow, Allo really has a huge thirst. But man, am I enjoying Hatchet Bite. This is ridiculous how good it is. With the right playstyle, of course. With the right mindset. Too bad I didn't get a trophy though. We still need that. Because we're not fully grown. But yeah, you saw what kind of wonders bleed does. And one thing I learned when I played the Isle is that for bleed to be effective, You have to stack as much bleed as possible in the shortest of time frame that you can. Because bleed increases with intensity and duration. The more hits you stack in, the shorter the period between hits, the more the bleed stacks, which means the longer it lasts and the more intense it becomes. And just to give you an idea, if you give a dinosaur 5 bites that deliver 1 point of bleed each, so 5 bleed, in a span of 5 seconds, 5 to 10 seconds, it's not the same as delivering 5 bites each minute for 5 minutes. The number of bites is exactly the same, but just because there is such a long time of there's such a long time frame between the bites, it means that the dinosaur, let's say for just argument's sake, your bite does 1 minute of bleed, right? If you just do 1 minute of bleed and wait for it to be over, then do another minute of bleed and wait for it to be over again, and you repeat that 5 times, you will just do a fraction of the damage as if you would if you did 5 bites in 5 seconds, let's say. Even if it stacked just to 5 minutes, so you would get the same duration of bleed, you would get the intensity of 5 bites running their damage for a whole 5 minutes. So 5 bites are doing damage for a whole 5 minutes, as opposed to 1 bite doing damage for 1 minute 5 times. I don't know if that is clear enough, but that is how the way bleed works. So when you're playing bleeders, either gotta do a lot of bites or claws or whatever it takes, in as a short amount of time, as as possible, or maybe just use another ability, or do another build or playstyle, because bite playstyles heavily depend on that. It's why I was having trouble with Tonka's ripping kick, because doing that many ripping kicks back to back would leave me without stamina, and half of the time they weren't even registering. So that's why ripping kick left such a bad taste in my mouth. Anyways, we got another 20 minutes left, so let's go back to Grand Plains and see what we can do. Mr. Allo the Underdog. Now guys, imagine if this thing gets a decent TLC, what kind of wonders I'm going to be able to make playing this dinosaur. It's gonna be beautiful. Let's just hope that Alderon gets it right. See look at the difference night and day in the heal when I got both my water and my food up to 100%. This is faster than when I was sleeping earlier. Starting to hear footsteps. Now, when you hear footsteps that sound as loud as yours, just know that the moment you're starting to hear them, they can also hear you. So that is a good cue for you to start crouching, in case you want to be dead silent. That sounds like an owl running. quite honestly. There's one thing I used to do in the aisle. I would just crouch on every step, not make any noise, but it doesn't seem to work as good here. There's a Mr. Dino there. 2 of them. Ooh, perfect target for us. Spinosaurus. Two Pachies. Hope you're smart and don't attack me. What else is with that? Is that a Titan? A small Titan. Oh my god, that tail. And now, of course, the doggy is gonna chase after. See if the Pachies actually join me. The Pachie really threw me off guard. Oh, he's after me. Of course it is. It's ridiculous how much damage small apexes. I honestly hate how much damage apexes do recently. Yeah. That Titan was barely adolescent, I think. And it dealt that much damage. This is honestly just, it's out of hand. I'm sorry, but this is ridiculous. There's no way that that Titan should be allowed to do nowhere near as much damage. But for some reason it does. And yeah, now you got a Titan, Spino, and the Pachie ganging up on you. And if you slow down to attack the Pachie, the Titan attacks you. And if you slow down to attack the Titan, then the Pachie and the Titan attack you. And plus the Spino comes in range. So that was a really difficult situation to be in. Unsure whether it would have been better to just turn around and inflict as much damage as possible on the Titan. But I think it would have been worth a try compared to what happened. But anyways, you can't win them all. This is the game. Now sadly, what kind of infuriates me is the fact that the Titan's probably gonna take my trophy. But we'll see. We will see. I might just find him in the next episode and give him a dosage of karma. Is that a dinosaur? Oh my god, can you shut up? Let's see if we find some good content here. I was honestly hoping for a nice Spino 1v1, but this is officials and 1v1s are extremely rare. Almost non-existent. And even if a 1v1 starts, you're never guaranteed that it will end in a 1v1. Because people can just third-party you at any moment in time. So yeah, so far, extremely satisfied with Hatchet. Now, potentially there, I would have been better off against the Titan with Bite, because I could have just bit it repeatedly. But yeah, I still think I wouldn't have been able to do much in that situation. especially given the obnoxious packing. Now, I think my main mistake there was letting the packy just move freely, because I did encounter the packy the first thing. And guys, please take this advice. If you see a random packy anywhere, just immediately ambush them and try to clap them as fast as possible. Eliminate them by taking away their potential to be a future threat to you. Had I attacked that packy, even if I wouldn't have been able to get him, he might have been low enough HP to where he would need to retreat and heal and wouldn't have been able to tail ride me while the little doggy titan was chasing after. So never overlook anything, no matter how small they are, because you're gonna regret it later, just like I did. Well, let's hope Green Hills has something for us. And if not, we're just gonna keep moving towards Grand Plains. Hey, Lebroski. There we are. See how much stamina this takes. Okay, that's very little stamina. If Conka's Ripping Kick would take that much stamina, it would have been way better. Okay, that makes sense, totally. That totally makes sense all around. See how many players there are, 92. Okay, the server is pretty full. Pretty full indeed. Ooh, tiger nuts. Ooh, the weary traveler draws close to the end of the path. Hehehe, who caught that reference? Anybody home? Yellow. Green Hills abandoned, as always. It saddens me. It really does. Green Hills is one of my favorite areas in the game. Yes, somebody in the comments was like, it's just boring only doing doing Grand Plains. Well, the problem is that that's where everybody's at. And my content is pure PvP content. And in order to do PvP, I need to find other people. And in order to find other people, I need to go to where people are, which happens to be Grand Plains. And I can't really go around the whole map and have one encounter every 50 minutes. Just wish for the best. Sadly, it's not the way the game currently is. There's way more chances of that happening in the island, but not here. Which is quite sad. I'm just gonna hit the gas pedal. And we're gonna try to make it there back as soon as possible. I think I would have been able to take that Spino had it not been for the two little doggies. Like, when you think about it, it's so stupid. Ooh, this seems promising. Okay, one resource is super far away. That is not good. Love it how it says that the resource is abundant. But it's so far away from the nest. Yeah, never mind. I'm not gonna spend the remainder of this episode trying to build a nest. Or try to get back there and try to find those guys again. I think Gallo could do with some acceleration. Would be nice. That is a Pycno. That is most charging. I think it's coming this way. I'm making noise in order to draw attention to myself, because I do want the smoke. The guy moving away or what? Oh, he's drinking, okay. I don't think he's aware that I'm here. If I start charging him here, he's going to run away. We gotta try to get close this way. Oh, this guy is fully grown, I think. Yes, keep talking. Keep chatting. He has one more message, trust. Oof. This is rather unfortunate. Wait, he did not see us, oh my god. The braced legs are gonna give him an edge. Let's hope he keeps making mistakes. On Lebroski. We talked about situational awareness in this episode, and you just demonstrated you don't have any. Really hope that bleed is enough. Kidding me? Oh my god, I just whiffed that opportunity. That was way too perfect. Ah, man. He was stuck there. Ah, that is just... Yikes. That is so unfortunate. It's the part where we're out of stamina. That is really unfortunate. He just sat down. No, he went through water, never mind. Yeah, he needs to get rid of that bleed. And he did get rid of it. Oh man, that is so unfortunate. Had I bitten him there, when he got stuck, would have been a wrap. Unfortunate, but what can you do? The way I was swimming behind him and he was just completely oblivious. Had a 4-ton land shark just cruising behind him, not even 2 meters away, and he was like, this is fine. I wonder if that ramp just latched onto him. Oh, trying to find this guy's gonna be tough, so this is gonna be it for this episode. Tell me guys what you think about Hatchet Bite. You like it? You want to see more Hatchet Bite content? If yes, thumbs up the video and comment below. That's the way of letting me know for sure if you want more Hatchet content. So I will see you guys on the next one and hope you enjoyed it. And have a great day. Bye bye.